Because, listen, you're just an amenity and modernity, because make absolutely no mistake, you're King Louis XIV in this century, okay? Because you had childhood trauma too, you got shot, and then what did you do? You threw on a wig and high heels, and you started prancing around, and you also have anal fistulars and fuse. Yeah. So you're the same as King Louis XIV, it's just we've kept you in line a little bit.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of History Hyenas. I'm Chris Distefano, a.k.a. Chrissy Haircuts. With me, as always, Yannis Pappas, a.k.a. Yanni T-shirts, and Jesse Finger Paint and Sculptaro is off to the ones and twos, off to the side. Today, we have a wild episode about King Louis XIV, known as the Sun King. Make no mistake, he's a wild boy, and you're going to want to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of Louis. There was just a lot of Louis.
Yes.
I think that at the end of the day, it ended up being 16 Louis, but they're just, everyone's trying to imitate Rome, right? With the Caesar, they just called him Louis, but his name was probably something else, but they just kept calling him Louis over and over again.
Well, I think the kid's actual real name was Louis Diarunde. I don't know.
He actually was a Louis.
Here's the truth: is I love learning about French history, but I don't know what they're saying ever. I need them to speak English.
Yeah, you need to speak English, and the thing is, they won't. They will not speak English.
They're the only ones that won't.
No, I had to watch all the subtitles because they just won't make English documentaries about Louis. They just won't speak English because they're fucking fucks.
Yeah.
The French people they're very arrogant about their thing. And listen, here's the situation. You'd be speaking German if it wasn't for the Hardy Boys.
Yes.
Just don't forget about that.
Now, here's the thing.
So just give me the croissant.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pronounce it croissant.
Yeah, give me a croissant.
Just give me a croissant and give me some cheese.
Yeah, and if you keep acting the way you're acting, don't make me change the baguette to an F.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it.
They're very arrogant about their culture, but they got nice culture. But you know what?
They got nice culture.
They say their food is good, but they eat snails.
Yeah, here's the thing. I got to be honest with you. Let me be 100% honest with you. It's going to be a great episode, but I first need to start this episode off by being honest with you.
Yeah.
I went to Paris. Yeah. And I liked it. I was there for 2 days. All I ate was Italian food.
Oh.
Okay? All I ate was Italian food because I got to be honest with you. I don't understand French food. It's too small.
Yeah. It's too small. And they put the escargots, they look like little muffins.
Yeah.
So they look like those tiny little muffins. They can trick you. You go, I'm going to have a muffin. And then you just put a snail in your mouth.
Yeah, that's the thing is I had escargot and I said, can I get these toasted with butter? And they looked at me and they're like, what are you talking about? So I thought they were just muffins.
Yeah, and you're like, can I get a bagel? And it's a baguette.
Yeah,
like,
bagel.
Just give me a bagel, all right?
Yeah.
Just give me a bagel. And I thought when you started saying all you saw, or when you said all you, I thought you were going to say all you saw was Muslims.
Well, I was going to say.
There's a lot of them in Paris.
I was going to say I went to Paris, or I like to call it the Caliphate. I mean, wherever you look, and that's fine. By the way, I shout it.
Fine, it's
out.
great.
Shout
Muzzies, we love Muzzies. We love them.
Love them. But I'm just, it's a little, it is overwhelming.
Yeah, it is.
It is overwhelming.
Yeah.
Where I said, I thought I was going to Paris. I didn't know we were seeing a live Aladdin musical.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, the guys, they're ready for sports. Like, listen, just. If you're like I said, if you're a frisbee, just get out there, take the things off, and play frisbee.
Yeah.
If you're a muzzy, just take the thing off, and you can go. You can be in the bull ring.
Just
take it off, and then get the bull. You got
have a little fun.
Have a little fun.
And by the way, shout out French people. I mean, I was watching that Netflix documentary Court of Gold about the United States men's basketball team. The French team is good.
Yeah,
they are very good.
Yeah, because they got a lot of mobs.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they
whatever country's got mobs is going to be D's.
Yeah, it's just here's the thing: you go to some of these European countries, and if you're just born a mob, they just put you on the basketball court. That's just what they think.
Yes.
So unfortunately, it's just the truth.
Yeah, they're very good, and that was a great documentary.
Team Canada is amazing too. Team Canada
again, mobs.
Yeah. Here's a nice little stat I didn't know. The United States Dream Team, that amazing 1992 Dream Team, they only played against 9 professional NBA players combined in the Olympics.
Yeah.
There was only other 9 players that they played against scattered throughout teams. Canada as a team has 9 NBA players.
The world
pretty wild.
Yeah, the world has really come up, and also the Slavs are very good. I mean, the Serbians are good, and the Germans are good now. Everyone's good. The Greeks are good. Italians are good. Everyone's playing basketball. I mean, listen, the guy that won the slam dunk contest 3 years in a row, I mean, was a white guy that's 6'2". If you told me that I was going to grow up in a world where that was the slam dunk champion 3 times in a row with amazing dunks, and the best running back in the NFL was white, I would have told you that you're living in another universe, because when I grew up, that was just not the white man's game.
Because, I mean, that kid that won the slam dunk contest, I mean, he literally looks like he's an electrician. I mean, the kid literally goes and dunks over cars, and he goes back to local 3.
Yeah. Mac McClug, shout out.
Shout out Mac McClug. All right, here we go. Listen, here's the thing about King Louis XIV. You know him as the Sun King. He created the Palace of Versailles, all that stuff. We'll explain that. But I mean, the kid was the longest reigning monarch of all time, including Queen Elizabeth. Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean, the only person who's had a longer reign is King James.
Right.
22 years in the NBA.
Oh, LeBron. Yeah.
He's still going. And Louis is the longest running king, and he was the one who really kind of took that divine right of kings thing to the maximum. He was like, I am the God King, and then the Catholics were like, you can't say that, and he was like, fine, just call me the Sun King. Here's the deal, I'll cut your head off unless you watch me take a shit.
There's something nice about, if I gotta be honest, there's something nice about respecting the power back then, where if you didn't listen or you talked about me in any way, shape, or form, I would behead you in public. I would get people to pay tickets to watch you, the people are gonna watch and cheer as I cut your head off because you denounced my sovereignty, and I kind of got to be honest with you, I like it.
Yeah.
And I want a little bit of that to come back, because I'm a kid that falls in line.
Yeah.
I'm a kid that will say, if you tell me you're going to cut my head off, guess what?
Yeah.
I will go the opposite of what I said to offend you, and I'll just go the other way. And I kind of like people paying attention to the rules a little bit more, because now it's like, I don't like that I'm going to get a $17 egg wrap that to charge you $17 because they're telling me they're getting their sweet potatoes from Montauk. I say that's you're lying. I don't like that there's an F America sticker on the thing where you put the credit card.
Yeah.
Because they could just do that. I said, you know what? If King Louis XIV was in here, the Sun King, you would come in and he would be taking a shit, and you would have to watch him take a shit, and his guards just mutilated you. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, that we used to have Steel Pipe Chrissy. Right there is Captain America Chrissy.
Yeah, because I'm CAC Captain America Chrissy. This is the stuff you might hear on The Daily Show if I decide to do it.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. It is a nice way to get people to be nice to you. If you're like, hey, you know what? I just want everyone to be nice to me. A good way to do that is just say, hey, if you're not nice to me, then I will cut your head off.
There's something about, I used to talk about it on stage a lot, and I got to be honest with you, because the new material's been coming a little slower, so I'm starting to talk about it on stage again. What I'm doing now is not doing stuff from my last special. I'm doing stuff from 2 specials ago, because I'm like, they probably forgot. So I'm just revamping it and saying, oh, this is a new idea. But the truth is, the kid's just a little slow with this new material. So I'm doing stuff from my special from 2018. And I used to talk a lot about how people just need to start getting punched in the face again, because everyone feels a little too free.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. And in this period, if you really stood up to the king and the powers that be in this period, you're a real motherfucker.
Yeah.
You are a real G, because you're going to get disemboweled in front of your family in a public square in Paris. And I respect that. Now you talk crap and say F Trump, F Biden, whatever you want to say. There's no real repercussion, so you're not really a hero. Mm-hmm. These people back then were heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like you want a fascist dictatorship.
It's what my ancestry is, according to Ancestry.com.
You just don't want the people to be able to speak.
I kind of like silence. And I think what I'm going to do to test out my theories, I think I'm going to start close to home first and start it with my family. We're going to start running this house like I'm King Louis XIV and I'm the Sun King. I'm going to throw in a pair of Jasmine's high heels, one of these wigs that I got for you, and we're just going to have a good time. And I'm going to watch my family. I'm going to make my family watch me as I take a shit.
Yeah.
You want to throw that puppy on?
Let's throw these on. So
there we go. I should have got a third one for you, Jess. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Frisbee's got a good solution for male pattern baldness, and that was the Frisbee, right? You put that thing on, it covers the bald spot.
Yeah, come on. And King Louis, here's the thing. King Louis XIV, he was known for his famous, beautiful, long, flowing, brown, curly-haired wigs, and he he started it as a fashion statement because people would follow what he did, but it was really was hiding his male pattern baldness. But when you look at pictures of him with that long, flowing, curly brown hair, I mean, the kid looked Puerto Rican, so I'm into it.
Yeah, you looked like George Washington a little bit right now.
Yeah,
I just look like this is just. I probably look weird.
You just look like a kind of like a wild, just Park Slope artist.
Yeah.
You look like Jesse in 10 years.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
It looks like the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with King Louis is, okay, so longest reigning monarch, call him the Sun King. The kid loved a lot of things that we love. Ballet, throwing on high heel shoes, hunting, banging massive amounts of toots.
Oh, he was a real explorer.
I'm talking about the kid, and there is no way with the amount of sex this man had, there's no way a couple of dudes didn't slip in.
No, that's what they say. There's nothing on the books.
Right.
But he did have a group of young dudes that hung out with him. He did have a couple of guys he was really close to.
Yeah.
So it's speculation. I think when you're getting that much pus,
right,
I think you're gonna go on the other side and you're just bored. I think out of boredom he probably slipped in a couple of guys' mouths, especially when they have the wigs on. Sometimes you get confused.
Yeah, you just get
You're like,
confused.
oh, I thought you were a girl.
And here's the thing with these kids is you wonder how they become how they become who they are. Like,
first of all, look at his hairstyle.
Yeah, his hairstyle is wild. It's wild,
dude. He's got a part in the middle. I mean, it looks like someone shot a shotgun right through the top of his hair. It looks like Moses parted his hair in the middle.
His hair looks like a butt crack.
Because his hair looks like hawk wings.
And you know what's wild about him is he didn't really look exactly like this. He was the guy, he was so into vanity and loved himself so much, but really didn't like what he saw when he looked in the mirror or the reflection of a pond, whatever they had back in those days, is he would have all his royal artists, they would paint him. He could say his face could look alike, his face could look normal, but then they would always want him to be, he would always want to have muscular legs painted. So he would just have not his lower half. He hated his lower half. He was embarrassed about his butt and his legs. So he would just be fat on top, a fat face, fat upper top, and then if you zoom out on the painting, he's just got beautiful legs.
He looked like Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, with beautiful high-heeled red shoes, and he would always have a picture of his legs sticking out.
Yeah.
So the kid just was kind of fun, and he was, like most kings and queens, and this is just the truth, and Yannis and I discovered this, most of them have leaky roofs. Because they're all inbred.
Look at
his legs.
Look at his hair, and look at you. You guys have to go online and just Google Louis XIV. I mean, the guy's got high heels on. He's got stockings on.
Yeah.
He's got a dress on up to his right below his butt.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a cape. And then his hair looks like someone shot a shotgun right above his head.
Right above his head. Now, you have to keep in mind, when you look at a picture like this, you have to keep in mind one thing about King Louis XIV.
Fashion was fucking wild back
Fashion
then.
was wild, and I hope it comes back. I hope it comes back because, make no mistake, I'm starting to get desperate enough I'll have sex with myself. So because my family doesn't want it, they're not into my plan.
Right.
So, and I'll tell you about that on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So King Louis XIV, when you look at a picture like this, and it's interesting, he's very regal, he's got whatever. Number one, when this portrait was painted, he has gangrene in one of his legs and he's slowly dying. And two, the kid only took 3 baths his entire life. 3 baths. So he would walk around spraying cologne and perfumes on him, and he would have a bag of like a scented perfume person that was around him 24/7, 365, because they believed in those days if you took a bath, that was what poor people did. They thought, 1, and 2, that all infection will get in through the pores of your skin, because when you bathe in water, it'll open up your pores. So somehow this kid lived 76 years, only taking 3 baths. So we know here at this show, this kid definitely had fumes.
Yeah, fumes. I mean, that's it's a French stereotype, and sometimes it's true. I mean, maybe, but they do have a lot of sex. They do have a lot of affairs. Maybe if you let the fumes free,
right,
then you don't notice the fumes. You get used to the fumes, and then nobody has fumes.
That's
right?
true too. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you told me a little thing that I didn't know when we were talking before. You told me that Versailles didn't have any. Versailles didn't have any public toilets or plumbing.
I've never seen a guy fart in a wig.
Yeah,
because I mean, what's funny is back in that day, like there was dudes in wigs and they would fart.
They were ripping them off. That's what it is.
They were just smart.
There were dudes in wigs back then. They were just getting blowies from toots with wigs on.
They just had wigs on.
It's kind of a wild time, right?
They were signing the Declaration of Independence. One of those guys had farted.
100%.
There's somebody in that room that farted at least once, maybe multiple guys.
Multiple times.
Farted.
Yeah.
There could have been a guy just right in the middle of signing the Constitution who just went and went, sorry, I thought it was going to be silent, and it came out like a
yeah, with a full wig on, and then having sex with their wives, going home and leaving the wig on. It's just what it is.
It's just what it is.
But you told me that interesting fact about Versailles, how they didn't have only King Louis's quarters had the
they got a toilet.
Had the toilet, so people would take pisses and shits behind the curtains.
They were shitting all over Versailles.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, they were shitting outside. They were shitting inside. Sometimes they'd have to take a shovel and go in and shovel the shit because people would go and shit behind the curtains, just hide it because there was 22,000 rooms in that thing.
Yeah, because
so nobody would. It's hard to get caught. There wasn't cameras and surveillance there, and if you had to take a shit, they would imagine being in a palace and there's just no bathroom. You're gonna shit on a curtain.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. It sounds like my 3-year-old. It just sounds like people were running around just like my kids.
People were shitting all over Versailles. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning. Who is Louis XIV? He is the son of Louis the 13th and some chick named Anne who was somebody who his father hated.
His father hated. Anne was the Queen of Austria.
She was the Queen of Austria, and that's what they do. They try to unite the kingdoms by banging the royal families.
Yep.
His pops hated her.
He hated her.
He hated his woman. He hated banging her.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get a son. One night, I mean, can you imagine what that sex was like between like when there was arranged marriages? They were probably just like, it was probably this thing where they were just like, like just you know what I mean? Like they couldn't eat before it because they didn't want to throw up. I mean, they hated each other.
Well, they all had fumes too. They all had full bushes and fumes, and they would just have to have sex to procreate. That's it.
It was just like, and finally they made this kid, and then he had a brother, Philip, right? And his mom started.
And by the way, Philip, real quick, Philip, who was King Louis's brother, there's a lot of speculation and conspiracy theories that he was the man in the Iron Mask. Have you ever heard that conspiracy?
Oh.
King Louis XIV's brother, Philippe. They think the story, the man in the Iron Mask, that Leonardo DiCaprio, they think it was his twin brother that had some kind of disorder, some type of facial issue. One, they think, so they put him on the Iron Mask and they let him rot in the Bastille, or they didn't let him rot in the Bastille. He was treated. The thing about the man in the Iron Mask is at the time he was treated so well by the other prisoners, by the prison guards. So they think it was either that it was King Louis's brother, or he was a child of out of wedlock of the king at the time, who he had an affair with someone and they wanted to get him away. But either way, that man in the Iron Mask had something to do with King Louis XIV.
That is another conspiracy.
Or they say also they could have been that King Louis XIV himself put his brother in the man in the Iron Mask, put his brother in the Bastille because he did not want anyone to succeed him.
Yeah.
So he did not want a successor. So that's why, obviously, if King Louis died, the brother steps up.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, because back then, it wasn't like, oh, this is my brother, he won't hurt me. Your brother would hurt you because everybody wanted to be king.
Yeah, well, that's why Anne, the queen, his mom, Louis XIV's mom, was like, when Louis was born, she was like, he's a special kid. This is a miracle from God because we hate each other and we had a baby.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the king. And so she just favored him. And Philip, you know what she did to Philip?
What?
She put him in a dress and started calling him a girl because she didn't want him to be a threat to Louis being on the throne.
It's what it is.
Next king. So she just chose one kid. She made a Sophie's choice. She was a cold woman. These people were like crazy, leaky-roofed psychopaths.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
how can you do that to your own son? You just said, this one's not going to be a threat to this one. This one's more special than this one. And I'm throwing you in a dress and I'm gonna start referring to you as she.
It's just what it is. It's these two brothers definitely hated each other. I mean, well, Philip definitely hated Louis. It's probably like Seth Curry and Steph Curry. Seth is like, I mean, what the hell with my brother?
Yeah.
Could you imagine being Seth Curry and being an unbelievable NBA basketball player and then nobody cares about you because your brother is arguably the best three-point shooter in NBA history?
Yeah,
wouldn't that suck?
Joe DiMaggio had a brother.
Yeah.
I think his name was like Guido.
Ted DiMaggio.
Was it Ted DiMaggio?
Probably.
Yeah, it's just he had a brother and he played in the league. He was a Major League Baseball player, but nobody knows about him. him. No, sometimes that just happens.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Maybe it has to do with the way the parents treated one over the other. They favored one over the other. Who knows? I mean, Gerald Wilkins, Dominic Wilkins, Brent Price. There's just always a lesser than brother.
It's just what it
Jason Giambi.
Yeah.
There's just a guy out there who's just, there's Frank Stallone.
Yeah, there's a Stallone brother. Yeah.
And I mean, he looks exactly alike. He's even taller, but maybe the mother just treated the mother just treated Sly just a little better.
Just a little better.
And just put Frank in a dress and started saying, you're going to be her.
It's just what it is. And sometimes it happens, and especially back then, I mean, parents just did whatever the hell they wanted to do. Now, here's the thing.
Wait, so let's go. You want to go chronological?
Yeah, let's go chronological.
So now we're in Paris. So the kids, back then you became king. He was king at 5.
Yes.
Which is wild.
They just anointed him king.
Yeah, and so you're very reliant on the advisor. And his advisor, his whole life was...
Well, his advisor, because people say, how does someone become how they become? A lot of times... your mind can get molded as a child. And this King Louis XIV's advisor was a man named Cardinal Mazarin, and he was a dirtbag.
He was an Italian dirtbag. He
was like Roy Cohen over Trump. Like the kid was just a dirtbag.
Like Machiavelli.
Yeah, Mazarin. And what he did is Mazarin, he basically, gave Louis a lot of choices, and he would tell Louis, not always the right thing to do. He would just tell him the thing that, would get him the most power.
Yeah, he was a very, very savvy kid and very Machiavellian.
Right.
And he taught Louis all the dirty tricks of politics.
Right.
Louis had a very traumatic thing happen when he was 10 years old. The nobles were always frisky. Yeah. They were frisky. They were always causing civil wars. And when Louis became the king, it was a very fractured landscape, right? France was all in civil war. They were always in civil war because these nobles were always fighting with each other.
Right.
So they had a revolt, and they stormed his palace when he was 10 years old, and they demanded to see the kid.
Right.
They demanded to see the kid. They were like, oh, the king is asleep, and he's a 10-year-old kid, but they forced him up, and he had to prance around his nightgown for him.
They wanted to kill him, probably.
They wanted to kill him, but they didn't, but it was very traumatic for Louis. It's funny how when you read these stories about people in history, it always just comes down to what happened in your childhood.
100%.
And so this kid was traumatized by these nobles and these noble revolts in the Civil War. He had to flee the palace and go. Him and his mom had to hide in some cold palace.
Yeah, Civil War was called the Fronde from 1448 to 1648 to 1653, known as the Fronde, where the nobles and the parliaments rebelled against the policies of the king. It was basically, they were saying, fuck you. Well, you don't own us, we own you.
Yeah, and he had to go hide in this, in
his nightgown.
People, and it's just him and his mom is like, you growing up, you and your mom, there was no neutrals and nobody downstairs.
Right.
And they had to sleep head to toe.
Right.
And it was a stressful situation.
Yeah, so like same way, that's what I would say to my mom. It's like my mom would be like, why are you still sleeping in the same bed with me? You're 16 years old. I said, Mom, because I read about King Louis XIV and I feel it's trauma.
Yeah, it's trauma. Yeah, it's definitely trauma. Because he was sleeping in the bed with his mom, scared, and they were it was just the two of them.
It's what it is, because that's why I wore a nightgown my whole life.
Yeah. And then that Louis's mom in that was very angry because these nobles and these people were rising up, and you're saying, I'm a leader and I got to pay for these good for nothings in these horse carriages.
The mom is saying, why don't you just kill my son Philip and leave Louis alone?
Yeah, just go kill the other one.
Philip, I put him in a dress for you. He was right there.
I put him in a dress and I called him a sissy.
Yeah.
I basically turned him into a sissy for you. I'm offering that one to you.
So this guy Cardinal Mazarin is also ran out of town. These kids, make no mistake, and we're going to show you how. But these are the seeds right here of what eventually goes on to become the French Revolution. Yeah. I mean, King Louis XIV, the kid caused it.
Yeah.
He bankrupted France, and it all begins here.
That's where the story gets very fun when you talk about what his actual reign was. So all this trauma that he had as a kid really formed his personality. So, Mazarin really advises him, raises him on how to be this savvy politician and put down revolts and just, be able to make people do what you want. Right. And then Mazarin dies, and they're like, all right, who's going to be the new guy? We need another cardinal, whatever, to be your advisor. He goes, nobody.
Yeah.
I'm going to be it. It's going to be a one-man show from here on in.
This is very similar to, if we could compare it to modern day, you know who this is like. You know who this is like. This is what happened to this kid's life. When Kanye West's mom died, all the brakes went out. When Mazarin died and they had no one to keep him in check, Louis XIV went nuts. Just like when Kanye's mom died, this is when Kanye started to go, I'll do whatever I want, because it was his mother who was like, Kanye, you stop. I remember his mother's very smart, very great mom. There was a quote I saw from her once, or not a quote, it was like a documentary where They said, you know, Mrs. West, he's the only one. Kanye only listens to you. And she's like, well, why wouldn't Kanye listen to me? I always listen to Kanye. So she was like that, where it's like, oh, very simple. You listen to your kids, they'll listen to you back. A lot of us as parents, sometimes we're not listening to our kids and wonder why they're not listening. It's like, well, because I'm on the fucking phone trying to put bets.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to look for apartments to live in, to get away from you guys. And then so this is why my kids won't listen. So when Kanye's mother said that, I was like, that's interesting. And when Kanye's mother died, just like when Cardinal Mazarin died, Kanye became Kanye and Louis became Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had a funny image of just an ideal world where we let Kanye make music and we just let him be a Nazi.
Yeah.
And it's a healthy society where everyone just knows, like, hey, he's a little special.
Right.
It's like an autistic kid. When an autistic kid comes over, you're like, this kid's going to play with his fingers, he's going to walk on his toes, and he's going to hit his head like that.
Yeah.
But he's a math genius. And so you just deal with it. So you warn before Kanye come over, you go, look, this guy's a fucking musical genius.
Yeah.
He does the best beats or whatever.
Right.
But he's going to do a few of these.
Yeah.
And it's just, we just pat him on the head and we know he's okay.
Yeah.
We deal with it. And that would be a very healthy society.
Yeah.
If we just go, look, the guy's got a leaky roof.
Yeah.
That's
what it is.
You know,
look, and here's his new outfit for the day. He just posted this yesterday. He put his a full clan outfit. It's what it is. So that's the new thing is, and so if you just say, you know what, the kid, he just likes to do that. We don't take it serious, but you watch, he's going to do College Dropout too, and it's really good.
And the music is just going to be insane.
It's real good.
But the kid's just going to come over and he's going to prance around a little bit in the Klan hood.
Yeah.
And it's what it is. He's a black kid.
Yeah.
And it's just, he thinks he's white.
Yeah.
And it's what it is.
It's okay.
He's a black white supremacist. We just let him be who he is.
He's like a Chappelle sketch.
Yeah,
that old Chappelle sketch when the black guy was a Klansman because he was blind. This is what it is.
You just warn people beforehand, like an autistic kid or someone special.
That's all.
Yeah.
I respect
Kid's going to pick his nose at the dinner table, but he's my son. We love him. Just deal with it.
Just deal with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's nothing we could do to stop this kid.
Yeah. No, we could do.
But he's all right.
So, yeah, Louis XIV decides to build Versailles. Because of his trauma, he's like, you know what? These nobles and their allies are in Paris.
Right.
I'm going to become the king of the burbs.
So you have to understand how big a deal this was, because forever, for centuries, it would be like, you know, everything was in Paris. The king is in Paris.
Including Edwards. They were in Paris.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking Kanye. Yeah. Oh, we're talking Kanye.
Yeah.
Right. That's all it was. Yeah, I thought that was just a shot out of nowhere.
Yeah, no.
I thought because you put the wig on, you just started getting a little colloquial.
No. That was just, I'm just saying.
Okay.
It's the title of the song.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. This your music.
Yeah, I was talking about music.
Yeah, listen to us on Spotify. And you can also listen to N-Words in Paris on Spotify. Yeah. It was a Kanye
Matt and Shane just got a big deal from Spotify.
Did they?
Yeah.
Good. They deserve it.
Yeah.
The biggest pod.
Yeah.
They why not?
Yeah.
Babe, let me tell you something. You ever lost your hair and then be like, where did it go?
Yeah, it's one day it's gone, and then for me, the next day it's back.
Because, let me tell you something, I got a solution-wooshy for you. I want you to try Hims Hair Loss Solutions, and you're going to be joining hundreds of thousands of subscribers who just found their hair again, just like you.
Yes. We are here to provide you with a solution so you don't even have to talk about it. Yeah. Through Hims, you can restore your hair by accessing their personalized hair loss solutions. Men value many different things about their appearance, but if you're a guy who really cares about your hair and find that it's slowly going away, you even see just a little give, check out Hims' personalized hair loss solutions, and you can start seeing your hair grow back in as little as 3 to 6 months, Chrissy.
Because it's cute. Hims provides you with convenient and quality access to a range of hair loss treatments that work all from the comfort of your own couch. The process is simple and 100% done online, so there are no uncomfortable doctor visits, no insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care.
Yeah, just answer a few questions and a medical provider will determine if a treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you. Here's the thing, for free. No insurance needed. One low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Hims has, like we said, hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, and they can help you get your confidence back and your hair look nice and full.
Thick and full. So right now, start your free online visit today at hims.com/hyenas. That's HIMS.com/HYENAS for your personalized hair loss treatment options. Hims.com/hyenas. Now, babe, results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Yeah. Everyone can get into the market now, Chrissy, with acorns.
Cause listen, acorns, I love it. I mean, I used to think the only thing acorns were good for was when your pops used to put them up his butt in the Korean War.
Yeah, you don't have to be a squirrel to appreciate acorns anymore. Go get the Acorns app. What it does is, look, boom, it puts you in the market for you just with your spare change. You buy a cup of coffee, it'll round up for you. If it's $5.65, it'll take 35 cents and put it in the market for you.
I like it. Give that Acorns. Listen, Acorns, it's an investing app, and there are very specific guidelines put in place by the SEC regarding what can and cannot be said in paid endorsements. Sorry. All right, so I was just reading part of the instructions of the ad, but I still say this is natural. Let's just keep going.
Okay.
I say we keep going, and if Acorns makes us do a make good, then they could suck it.
Yeah.
Because this is our show, and if you want the P fans to really listen, then I'm telling you, we're going to sell Acorns this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just be smart about this. And yeah, the ad read should be a minimum of 60 seconds, and we're doing that.
Yeah, look.
Let's tell about Acorns more.
It's all great. I have Acorns. Everyone should get it because, look, like I said, you go get a slice of pizza, it's $1.65.
Yeah.
Acorns will round that up to $2 and take that change and put it in the market for you, and over time, you'll make a little bit of cash.
Today's episode sponsored by Acorns. That's why we're thankful. It is a financial wellness app that helps you take control of your money with simple tools that make it easy to start saving and investing for your future. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your money goals. You don't need to be rich. Acorn lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now.
Yes.
Even if all you got is some spare change.
Yes, exactly.
So tell them how to get the fucking discount.
Yeah, ready to take control of your money, guys? Sign up now and join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/hyenas or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid no client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/hyena, baby. Yeah. /acorns.com/hyenas.
So what were we talking about? Oh, so
you just got distracted because your brain saw dollar signs.
Oh,
you got a Jewish part of your brain.
I
So they got a big, and you just went dollar signs.
Yeah. So
yeah, like I told you. Did we make a clip out of that?
What?
Because that is Chrissy.
What?
Chrissy has the face of the predator, the personality of the prey.
Yeah.
So it's just, did we make a clip of that?
No, we should though.
No, yeah.
So when they moved, they moved. King Louis XIV moved the palace.
Yeah.
The seat of power from Paris to Versailles.
I've heard. I'm sorry. It's very tough for me to look. You're scary in that wig.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck. Something's happening to your eyes, cuz.
And I look nuts.
Yeah. I mean, like, because you're from that period and you love like the American Revolution and shit like that. There's something happening to your eyes right now. You got like there's like a coldness. There's like something going on with that wig on.
You think I lived during that time and I was a bad kid?
No, it just fucking. You look good in it.
Yeah.
It looks like. It look like I know I look Franks. I know like it's something.
This fits me.
It just works.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm looking at George Washington and your face is morphing.
Yeah.
Like, cuz I think you're going to put me in a guillotine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it like match his face? Like it looks good. Like he looks like a guy from history.
Yeah. I just am. Yeah. I got a colonial face.
Yeah.
I told you, I think, because I'm so connected to colonial America, I think I lived in that period and died in that period.
Yeah.
And the kid and instead of coming back, I think I skipped a couple generations and I just came back in 84.
Yeah, but something's happened to your eyes because, I mean, I'm seeing something, like before the wig went on, you had a leak in your roof, and now right now, like the leak, there was a dribble, and I put a pot down.
I plugged it.
And now fucking water's coming in through this fucking ceiling.
Yes.
So what were you saying? I'm sorry.
So I'm saying the seat of the power, King Louis XIV said, he wanted to consolidate his power. He wanted to basically say, wherever I go, that's where there's power. So I'll put the head of France in a city that no one's ever heard of, because wherever I am, that's when everyone will come to me.
Yeah.
That wanted that power. It'd be like moving freaking New York City and now all the way out in freaking Long Island.
Yeah.
It'd be like we're all the way out in fucking Melville.
Yeah, the kid really was king of the burbs.
King of the burbs.
He decided, I don't want to deal with these nobles. I don't want to deal with their allies. I don't want to deal with these civil wars or these potential rivals who constantly rise up and try to take my power. I'm gonna declare myself the sun god. First, he was the god. He was the god king. Then he was like, I'm the sun king, fine. And now, a divine right. I'm gonna market myself as this big, lavish, godlike person, and everyone's gonna come live with me. And so he built Versailles, which cost God knows how much.
It almost bankrupt France, to be honest.
I mean, crazy. And then he forces all the nobles to just come have one big sleepover at Versailles.
Yes.
And there's going to be no more privacy. He's going to watch everybody. He's going to make them all compete for his favor.
Yep.
And there's going to be no more privacy.
Because
he's going to keep them busy.
Being in the court, in King Louis XIV's court, was not easy.
No.
You had to do... People would kill each other just to try to be the guy. As soon as he wakes up, they hand him his outfit for the day.
Yeah.
Like, it was stuff like that. And then, like we said before, Yannis wasn't joking in the beginning. We're not joking. He would conduct business on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
He would be talking to... You could get an appointment with Louis, and if it was at the time when he'd take a shit, then you just had to deal with him.
It was actually part of the daily ritual. So they would come and watch him wake up.
Right.
The kid just was scared of the dark.
Right.
And he liked to have people around. He was kind of like us in the way that he didn't like to be alone. So he would wake up and they'd watch him wake up. Then they got to compete over who was going to hand him his clothes, and watch him dress. And then they watched him eat. And then they watched him take a shit.
Yeah.
And he conducted his business, and it was a big part of the daily ritual where the kid just sat on the fucking toilet and shat and kerplunked while he was talking biz.
While he was talking business, and make no mistake, I mean, he sold more tickets to his people to watch him take a shit than we did at our live show. And it's just what it is. And so...
Yeah, people wanted to watch him take a shit.
Yeah, and by the way, shout out to everyone who did come to the live show at Gotham. That is up at patreon.com/historyhyenas. It was actually fun, fully sold out crowd. We went out of control. And there will be more about this episode at patreon.com/historyhyenas. And another wild episode is up there too. But anyway, and the kid, one part of him, I think people know this, is that the kid had anal fistulas.
Yeah.
So anal fistulas, what it is, it's really from pushing too hard when you got to poop, and then your basically asshole just opens up, and like you just get like these big boils on your butt. The kid only took 3 baths, so not bathing, and also just being in 1600s. You got an anal fistula. It is Tim Dillon voice, not good.
Not good. Yeah, he was constipated all the time, and he was pushing too hard, and also I think he was putting on a show.
Yeah.
So people watched him shit. So, sometimes you don't have to shit, but I think the people really were like, here it comes, here it comes. They got real, like, oh boy, here it comes. And he's like, I got a big one. So I think sometimes he pushed a little too much.
True.
He pushed a little too much, and he ended up getting these anal fistulas. And then he has started to develop such a problem that the kid not only had a leaky roof, he had a leaky butt.
Right.
So he was constantly just shitting himself. So he had to wear a diaper. He
had to
put
wear
him in a diaper so he wouldn't shit on the floor.
And he wouldn't shit on the floor, and he would lay on the floor sometimes in his diaper and conduct business because the kid was in 10 out of 10 pain. Because what happens is with the anal fistula and constipation is your body the poop gets so locked in your gut that you then develop a psychological, and then when you do poop, it hurts so much. So you develop a PTSD about pooping. So you actually want to poop less, but the feces just keeps building up in your body. And then when you get fresh poop, it just is, the poop in your gut is hard, and then the fresh poop is soft. So it kind of melts around the blocked poop, and it just starts leaking out of your butt.
Yeah.
So the newest poop just leaks out. So it's bad news.
If you get clogged up like that, couldn't like a solution be, especially since maybe they didn't have the science back then to fix it, but they did because some surgeon came in and did it. But maybe couldn't they have just been like just a guy just take his cock and just slam it in there and open up the plumbing?
Because they were doing that.
That would be a plumber back then, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
You could call that. I'm calling a plumber.
I'm not a gay man. I'm a plumber.
Yeah, as a plumber, just call a plumber and have him fucking just ram his cock and open me up.
I'm a roto-rooter.
Yeah.
And so, but what they actually did do though is the surgeons, because the surgeon who got it right wanted to make sure he got it right. And how do they make sure they get it right? They just practiced on other people.
That was a little part.
It's what it is.
It's what it is. And so they just took some peasants and they just did some experiments. And
they said, looks like you have an anal fistula. I said, no, I'm healthy. I said, I can see one. Yeah. Now bend over.
So they just practiced on these poor people. Yeah, unfortunately.
It's what it is. See, and that's another way to keep society in line. Say, listen, you can either pay the taxes and shut your mouth and stop being annoying, or we're going to make believe you got an anal fistula and take it out with no anesthesia.
Yeah, but when these things started getting out to the people, they started getting a little ornery. They started getting a little upset at the lavishness and all of these injustices that were happening because Louis was living the lavishness was crazy. Dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about, when you talk about Versailles, I mean, it's like, it's the huge... is so huge. He spent all this money. He was constantly at war, and he was just raping the people of taxes. And the nobility was living good. He was living good. And then his surgeons were doing experiments on peasants.
Because
it was just, he was laying the seeds for, eventually his great-grandson was going to get his head cut off.
Yeah, it's what it is. And we're going to get to that. And that's a fun part. So you guys are going to want to save your cum for that.
Yeah.
So on that, yeah. So, but it's funny because this has been happening since the beginning of time, and it doesn't matter how happy you are when you start to go get around real opulent wealth like that and you don't have it, even if you're happy with your own life and your own circumstances, it starts to really upset you just about like the wage gap. So I could imagine the people back then living in, even if they were living happy lives and they had food and water and all that, they're like, what is this gap? I had a friend who years ago worked for a Saudi billionaire, and he was security in his townhouse, which was in Manhattan somewhere. And so he said the townhouse this man had, he would spend millions of dollars a year on services he didn't need, like having a maid, having a security guard, running a gym in the building that nobody ever used. And it was just this spending millions. And he's like, and then I would be sitting on the subway going home, even though I love my wife, I love my kids, I love my life, being like, why are there fucking homeless people? Why am I living in a 3-floor walk-up when this guy's spending money? If I just said, hey, buddy, instead of running your sauna and gym for no one and spending $500,000, could you just give it to me? I actually need it for my wife and kids. And he said, so it starts to creep in. He goes, and I actually had to stop working there because of that. He said, my life, which was happy, he goes, and once I got rid of that, I started being happy again, because you can't help, the human brain can't help but compare and be like, it wasn't even him. He was saying, I would literally look at the homeless guy and be like, you don't have to be homeless.
Right.
I just came from the guy's house that could help you.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that even back then, 400 years ago, people are like, all right, enough with these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because you could clearly see, in my opinion, that his personality was so molded by the trauma he experienced as a kid, by the nobles forced him to prance around when he was 10 years old in his nightgown, and that helplessness that he felt, that they wanted to kill him and whatnot, that he paid so much attention to controlling the nobles. He created this, it's just born out of his trauma. I'm going to create this great big palace. I'm going to control everyone. Yeah. He never left, by the way. So he was like a Long Islander.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not going to the city. It's too much problem.
Yeah.
I'm just staying out here.
Right.
And he made them all live there, and he showered them. If they were loyal to him, he would shower them with gifts. He kept them busy, and it was all part of a plan to give them no time to conspire against him. Because they were hunting, there was orgies, there was food.
Yeah.
It was
everything.
He just kept them busy.
And cuz, listen, you're just an amenity and modernity, because make absolutely no mistake, you're King Louis XIV in this century, okay? Because you had childhood trauma too. You got shot, and then what did you do? You threw on a wig and high heels, and you started prancing around, and you also have anal fistulars and fuse. Yeah. So you're the same as King Louis XIV. It's just we kept you in line a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you're on medicine. If you weren't on medicine, you'd be the Sun King too.
Yeah. So what he did was he started paying too much attention to nobles, and he forgot about the people.
Right.
So that's going to have consequences.
Yeah, you gotta remember the people. It's one thing if you're living like that and then you're sharing your wealth a little bit, that's okay. Because think about it, if the Versailles was half the size it was, which would still be 10,000 rooms, and he just gave that other 30 mil to the people, there would be no problemas.
Yes, that's what a lot of these billionaires and a lot of these guys forget today. You can see it all the time. They just forget about the people. You want to give them a little buyback.
Just give them a little bit.
Buyback. If you're a bartender, somebody buys 10 vodkas, you go, here's another one for free. Just keep the people out of your foyer. Yeah. Your whole goal as a ruler is keep the people out of your foyer. Yeah, they're going to storm your palace.
It's what it is, because if any of these billionaires just got together and said, how about this? All right, we're not going to pay all the taxes, but what if we just agree to pay 1% more, and we'll take a little bit off these people? The amount of pressure that would come off the people, the poor people who can't afford it, all of us who can't afford paying taxes. I mean, cuz, let's be honest, cuz, we're not crying poverty here, but we get fucking drilled with taxes. We get drilled. Yeah. So somebody who's listening to us may be like, those guys have money. It's like, well, we get drilled with fucking taxes, so we don't make as much money as you think.
Yeah,
my net is radically fucking different than my gross.
Yeah,
I don't get anywhere to the amount of money that you think I gross that you see on Patreon. We don't get anywhere fucking close to that, because we get hit, and then I get hit even more. What we like to call is a Puerto Rican tax.
Yeah, because you have to pay for an American territory.
Yeah, it's what it is, guys.
Yeah.
So don't fucking sit there and think that I got all this fucking cash-all, because I don't.
Yeah, Steel Pipe Chrissy is back.
Yeah, it's fucking back, cuz, and I got the wig on, and I really want to behead somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, we fucking get drilled. What happens is a little gay plumber named Uncle Sam comes over.
Yeah.
And we get molested by our uncle, and he drills us right in the asshole at tax time.
Yeah, it's what it is,
It's
cuz.
what and how it goes.
It's how it
And
fucking
that's
goes.
how you felt if you were a little farmer or a little peasant in France during Louis XIV's reign, as you were getting drilled, and he kept raising the taxes to pay for his lavish lifestyle and his wars. And the kid did do some things like build some roads, some latrines, some canals and shit like that. So he did kind of do a little good thing for the economy, but he was taxing the people too hard.
You know what's one cute little thing about Louis? Here's a little cute thing that he did, and something that we still do today. You know, like when you walk down a path or whatever, and it'll say, keep off the grass, turn here. So he would have these massive parties at Versailles. And one year he had this party, and like people were walking through his beautiful gardens. They didn't know where to go. And I mean, it destroyed the gardens. So he said, he got with his landscaper the next year, and he said, we're going to have this big party again, but what do we do? And he said, they came up with these little signs called keep off the grass, a little sign by the fountain says don't bathe in the fountain even though you want to. All those things that we have
There's
today.
also a sign up that said no hats and no sneakers.
No hats, no sneakers.
Which we know what that means.
Yeah. No hats, no sneakers.
No backwards hats, no sneakers.
What it is.
Yeah.
No pagers. But you know what the word for, and here's how it comes into play today. Do you know what the sign, because this is where all this started, you know what the word is for little signs in France?
What?
Etiquette. So the term etiquette, how we have etiquette today, it's because he started it with those little signs, and then it became a whole thing of etiquette, of doing what's right and respecting people's property and using the right dinner fork. It all stemmed from there.
Oh, you know what else? Another word that came from there. That was a little HHFOD. Here's another one. Refugee.
Ooh.
Refugee comes from this period because King Henry, a couple kings ago, right?
Of England, we're talking. Or we're talking, is where King Henry in France?
France, yeah.
Oh, King Henry.
Yeah, King Henry. You're right. It was Henry.
Yeah.
And so he decided to sign a little thing, can't remember what it's called, we could look it up if you want, about how he was going to tolerate the Protestants. Because it was a Catholic country.
Yeah.
So we're going to tolerate these, what they would call Huguenots, or however I'm sorry if you're
Huguenots also a section of Staten Island. I'm looking at houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Huguenot or something like that
Yeah.
in France, but they were the Huguenots, they were Protestants. And he tolerated them.
Right.
But then Louis XIV came in, and all he saw was outsiders.
Right.
He's like, we're Catholic, because he wanted to consolidate everything and keep everyone the same.
Right.
You know? So he was like, we're going to get rid of them.
Right.
The problem was there was about 1 million of them.
Right.
And most of them were highly skilled laborers.
Mm-hmm.
So he banned them.
Right.
You know? He banned them. He did an edict. He signed an executive order.
Right.
And he said they got to go.
Right.
So these guys were now being persecuted, and the Huguenots and the Protestants, they left and went to England. So he lost all this skilled labor too, so that hurt the economy.
Right.
Because he got rid of them, and that's where the word refugee comes from. It originates from the French word, sounds like refugee.
Right.
But they'd pronounce it different. They'd get mad if you wouldn't.
Right.
It refers to the Protestants who fled France after the revocation of King Henry's Edict of Nantes from 1685.
Cute.
So King Louis revoked that. Overturned that.
Yeah.
He was like Trump coming into office.
Right, with the tariffs.
Overturned the DEI.
Right. It's what it is.
DEI went out the window.
Now,
no more Protestants.
Yeah, no more Protestants.
They
Now,
were the trans of the day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get them out of here.
Yeah, get them out.
Yeah. Mando, baby, whole body deodorant. Do your balls stink?
I have it on right now.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And because you smell good and you look good.
Yeah, I like to put it all over my body.
Yeah, and I notice your pits are nice and dry, too. They're nice and dry because, make no mistake, sometimes the balls stink, and you rub a little Mando on them, and that's what we like. I like Mando. It is whole body deodorant. It's safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet.
Yeah, created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was misdiagnosed, mistreated, clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours.
That's nice, because sometimes you just need to get a little stinky. I mean, King Louis XIV would have been nice with some Mando.
Yeah, and here's what I love about it. All products, baking soda free and paraben free. Choose from a variety of fresh scents like bourbon leather, clover wood, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. It makes you smell like a guy.
Like a guy. So whenever you're putting a foot in your mouth, ask him to put on some Mando before you pop that puppy in.
That's right.
It's what it is. Now, Mando's got a nice starter pack, and it's perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer to our lovely listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code Hyenas, Hyenas, at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay dry, and boost your confidence from head to toe.
With Mando.
So here it is. So King Louis XIV also, the kid just did have a very regimented day. First of all, he would have a low light breakfast, a hefty lunch, but then the evening meal, which was called the Grand Cuvée, that took place around 10 p.m. The kid would eat late. He wasn't into intermittent fast.
No, he's not into.
The kid would eat late for 10 p.m. and it would be a public thing.
Yeah.
Like you would come into the apartments of Versailles, and you would just all eat at 10 o'clock. And then he would, at 11:30 would go upstairs and he would always have just a couple of toots.
Yeah.
The kid was just walking around with mistresses at all times. He had a wife, yes, but back then he had some public mistresses and some not public mistresses. So it was okay back then. That's why when people say, oh, French guys are allowed to cheat and they have this vision of marriage and all that, that was King Louis XIV was the one who made that the culture where he said, listen, I got a wife, but I also, I got to bang other chicks too.
Yeah, what he would also do is sometimes he would promote some of his kids with the mistresses.
Right.
And he did that as a tactic to keep the nobles on their toes. Because he's like, this guy's going to rise up. My son over here. Or he would promote people, which the nobles weren't used to.
Right.
He really controlled the nobles.
Yes.
And that was really what his main concern was. And he made everyone watch everything and everyone stay busy because they didn't have cameras back then, but he wanted to just be able to keep everyone under his watchful eye.
Keep him
Kid was paranoid.
And the kid, what he did was when he was anointed king, he was anointed in this oil that they believed was directly from the Holy Spirit. So to him, he was an absolutist power king, meaning he is divine. He has divine power. It's different than just being power of the state. This kid said, I have power of the state and the religion because I am divine. I was chosen by God himself. Yeah. So I am the king. And he would wear this ring that ring connected him to France. So he would tell the French people, thank God I'm your king because God only picked one, and he picked this country to be, this is the chosen land.
Yeah, and this has been happening since the beginning of time. I mean, you look in Egypt, they had the pharaohs, and they were like, oh, I'm a direct descendant of God. What it makes me realize is people will fucking believe anything.
Right.
You can really control the people with some good marketing.
I mean, because look at the Vikings. When Vikings would say, if you die in battle, you're going to go to Valhalla, and that you're going to be, or even the Muzzies, you're going to get virgins and all that stuff. None of it's true because you just die and you start again. You go back to the beginning of the simulation.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there who are selling penis pills and they make millions of dollars. And if they worked, we'd all be taking them.
It's what it is.
Nothing can make your penis bigger.
It just can't.
But if you can sell it and tell people it will, they'll just buy it.
Yeah, the only thing
a couple of ads on this Patreon where you're just going to have to decide for yourself whether we're lying to you about the product or not.
Well, the one thing I'm not lying to you about is Blue Chew. Blue Chew does work. It gives you woodies. Go to BlueChew.com, put in that promo code Hyenas, tell them we sent you.
That works because it's based on science.
It's science, what it is. Yeah. So the kid would have a meal. Here's the thing. The kid would eat at dinner 20 and 30 dishes. So you know how we have fine dining now?
Yeah.
Like, go to a fine dining restaurant and they'll bring out these little, they'll course it out, hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, entrees. It wasn't like that before King Louis XIV. King Louis XIV was the one, back then, you would just all put all your food on the table and you would eat it with your hands. He was the one that said, let's course this out. Let's make dining fun. Yes, it's because back then it was just for sustenance, but he said, let's make it an art. So this fine dining that we still have today started with King Louis XIV, the Sun King, and he would say, don't eat with your hands, eat with knives and forks and utensils. But Louis would himself still eat with his hands. Yeah. So nobody else could, but he would.
Because he was the first reality star. He was like the first streamer.
Yeah.
He just made everything a show.
Yeah.
He was like, you're gonna watch. There was no cameras, but he was like, we're gonna have an audience for everything.
Yeah.
And the kid did Daniel Dobrik.
And he had beautiful curly brown hair. That wig, supposedly his wigs were gorgeous. And I mean, cuz you know me, if I see brown curly hair and red high heel shoes, if you got a tattoo on your tit, I'm in.
You're in there.
I'm in there like swimwear.
Yeah, there he is.
So I mean, cuz if that had a tattoo on the tit and her name's Julissa, I'm in.
And here's the funny thing: when you look at this painting of him, you're absolutely right. There's no way that face has those legs.
No way. He would on purpose tell them the portrait guy would paint something. He said, "You got to make my legs look better."
Like, look at his legs. His legs looks like he does squats.
Yeah.
And then his face looks like he just does your accounting.
Yeah. Does that leg look like it has gangrene right now? Because it did in real life.
No, look at his shoes.
Yeah, look at his
high heels on.
Fucking cute.
He wanted to be a little taller.
Yeah, I mean, high heel shoes, I don't know when they went out of fashion, but I hope they come back.
Yeah, I think they hurt your feetsies.
Yeah, well, we're going to put one on.
Yeah.
So they said his sister-in-law, the Princess Palatine, said that this kid had a fucking insatiable appetite, that she said he would eat 4 plates of soup, a whole pheasant, a partridge, a large plate of salad, 2 slices of ham, mutton chops with garlic, a plate of pastries, all followed by fruit and hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
That's at 10 o'clock at night, but yet the kid still did live to 76 years old. So, I mean, what does that tell you? They got to be putting something in our food. That's why RFK is going to save us.
No, but I think they did it. I think it was Louis, his opulence. I think he took probably a half a bite of everything, and it was just all a waste.
Well, they said he had a big appetite, but a lot of the stuff he would eat was healthy food. He loved raw veggies. So it tells you, cuz, if you just eat your veggies, you're all right.
Yeah.
So the kid would eat his veggies, and he lived to 76 years old with no meds.
Yeah, the kid had 2,000 pair of shoes, I think.
Right.
I think he had something like 2,000 pairs of shoes. He spent a lot of money on all this stuff that he was doing, orgies, parties, constantly all the time. It got to the point where they were so low on money for these wars that he ended up melting down his silverware, and that's how much silverware he had in gold. Everything was gold.
Right.
He melted it down to pay for the war.
Right.
So you know you're spending a little too much if you got to melt down your forks and start using chopsticks.
Well, and it's funny too because he forbade even his own children to use forks. So even though forks and utensils were getting popular and he had a bunch of them, like you said, he still preferred to eat with his hands. So the kid had a leaky roof.
He definitely had a leaky roof. I don't know if you can't have a leaky roof when you get to this level of power. You're just... if I got to this level of power, I mean, and you came over my house, what do you think it's going to be? You think I'm just going to be, hey, you want a cup of coffee and sit down and talk?
No.
I'm going to go, no. You go in that room, there's 200 of the hottest trans women you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
You go in that room, there's 200 of the hottest women you've ever seen in your life. Chrissy's coming over, we're going to add a room full of 200 of the hottest guys you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just let him have a buffet.
Yeah, cuz I'll tell you what, cuz King Louis XIV, this is nothing. If Tim Dillon was alive back then, he had the power. Whoa-wee-wah.
Whoa-wee-wah.
Timmy D.
Cuz you ever go to dinner with Timmy D?
It's
he just
wild.
goes, give me the menu, and then he just takes a bite of everything.
Yeah, Timmy D, and I love it. That's why I love going out to dinner with Timmy D, because you always have a fantastic meal, always, but you are not allowed to order or look him in the eye.
No, you're not.
He just tells everyone what's going on. You eat it, and you have a great time, and I like it. And then you get driven.
What's good? Yeah,
and then you get driven home in his Rolls Royce, and I like it.
And he goes, "Thank you,
thank you,
thank you to the waiter, thank you."
And you know what? The king had they had 300 people working for him that would prepare his food. You know what that was called? That was called the service de bouche, the service of the mouth. That was the name of it in English, the service of the mouth.
That's it.
You just worked for the king's mouth.
Yeah, in Scientology, they have the same thing. They go, this is not for talking, this is for sucking.
Yeah.
Service of the mouth.
Yeah.
What's his name? David Koneshnash or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, no more talking outside. We're gonna take that mouth and it's for sucking.
Cuz should we create a tier on the Patreon and call it the service of the mouth?
Service of the mouth.
Should we create like a $20,000 a month Patreon tier and we call it this is the service of the mouth? Jesse, let's call that 50. Did we name that $15,000 tier yet that has the Tim Dillon episode?
It's already up.
It's called.
Did we name the tier?
Yeah, the tier has a name.
It's the $1 million tier.
$1 million tier. Okay, because it would be nice to change one to the service of the mouth.
Yeah, that's just your tradition network show. We got to have one episode of Tim Dillon that we can't release.
That we can't release, and so we lost the old one, but the new one is probably even crazier and would get us even more trouble, and that's all at patreon.com/historyhyenas, in addition to a lot of other content and some of the wildest shit. And we, by the way, we did a walk and talk last week. That's one for the ages. We're going to bring back those walk and talks, so those only exist at patreon.com/historyhyenas.
We have the same structure as Scientology, where if you get to the top level, which is Thetan, and you listen to the Tim Dillon episode, the aliens will come out of your brain.
Yeah.
But the difference between them is there's a top level nobody gets to that they dangle in front of you. There is an actual Tim Dillon episode up there. So if you want, if some Bitcoin guy's got 15 grand, is it 15 grand?
15
I think we
grand.
should raise it so nobody ever buys
15
it.
grand a month.
15, oh, it's
yeah.
So they'll buy it. I mean, there is an episode.
So you got to buy it for like $150K plus. Yeah.
No, but they'll just buy it for 15 and then
that's it. And then, James Altucher, if you're listening.
It's more of a joke. Don't buy it.
What's funny too about like with the service of the mouth, they were instructed that whenever King Louis was done with a course, everybody was done.
Yeah.
So if the kid ate the appetizer quick and you weren't done with, and you didn't get your food yet, you weren't done with it yet, sorry, plate got taken from you.
Yeah.
Because you were on the king's speed.
Yeah.
Everyone went at the king's speed.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
And he had a nice long reign, and then he did
75 years.
He did have that surgery to fix his asshole.
When he was 47, 48 years old, they did have a surgery. They fixed his anal fissure. What they did is they scalped it off and then they cauterized it. They burnt his asshole off. So he was was in 2 weeks of a lot of pain, but supposedly his fistulas got better.
Yeah, and here's the thing: there was no anesthesia, so the
No.
kid just had to bite down on a stick.
No, and what I will give the kid credit for, because you think, oh, he's a king, they said the kid took it like a champ.
Yeah.
They said the kid took it like a champ and just dealt with it.
Yeah.
So I respect that about him.
Now, look, he did bankrupt the people by taxing them too much and having all these wars, but he also promoted the arts. This was sort of a golden age where he funded all the arts, and so there was a lot of good architecture, a lot of good art that came around during his time. A lot of famous artists and writers and stuff like that were during his reign. And so it was sort of like Charles Dickens said, it's the best of times, the worst of times. It always is, right? And then it was what Dostoevsky saying, every family is unhappy in their own unique way. I mean, it's just the human condition.
I mean, it's what it is.
Can't have a yin without a yang.
Can't have a yin without a yang, and it's just when the kid died, his last words were something like, I have died, but the state continues. Because he said when he became king, I am the state.
I am the state.
But I think at his dying bed, he realized, I'm nothing, and I'm going to die, and the state's just going to keep it frickin' moving.
Yeah, that's when Pearl Jam started playing. Nothing man, isn't it something? Nothing man. So he dies.
Yeah.
And we'll just, we'll probably do another episode on the French Revolution, but eventually, a couple of kings later, was it 15, Louis XIV, then 15 comes in.
Then King Louis XVI is when...
That's when trouble starts.
That's when trouble starts. That's the French Revolution. That's King Louis XVI, Marie Antoinette. That's when people start losing their heads, let them eat cake. Yeah. That's for episodes for another day. One quick little cute thing about Louis XIV that I like that we were going to talk about on the Patreon, but we'll talk about it here because we want to give you guys a little taste. And speaking of taste, is the kid Louis XIV, so his body was actually stolen. What they did was during these times when there was like uprisings, years later, they stole all the kings and queens' bodies. Like the people broke in and started desecrating their bodies, all that. But it was tradition back in those days that the king, they would lay you to rest, but they would take your heart out in a jar. And so his heart got sold for auction, King Louis XIV's actual mummified heart. And there was this priest, this British priest that was just kind of a wild guy that he wanted to eat everything, any type of animal species, he just wanted to eat it. So what happened is the kid was at a house party one day, and he thought that there was a jar on this guy's shelf, and he thought, oh, that's like got to be some like fun animal heart, and he ate King Louis XIV's heart. The kid just ate Louis XIV's heart.
It's a different type of cuisine back then.
Yeah, he just popped one in.
Yeah,
he thought he was doing poppers.
Yeah. And this is this was the beginning of the end of the Bourbon dynasty. They ruled France for 200 years.
And by the way, you know what's a cute fact about the Bourbon dynasty? They still exist today. They are right now the current kings of Spain.
In Spain, they're
royalty
still
of Spain. So you can go take a look at who the royalty of Spain is, and just know that's descendants from King Louis.
Yeah. And we just we want you to know if you have any dream of growing up and becoming the king of Spain, you can't do it.
No.
Right? That's the one question. If you're the Prince of Spain and some kid goes, I have a question. I want to grow up to be the king of Spain. That's when it's the kid's got to just go, you can't.
Sorry.
Because we just fuck our families.
Yeah.
And it's just, you have to be in the bloodline.
Sorry.
And they go, how does that make sense? And they go, it doesn't. It's just something we've been telling the people for a long time to keep power.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they just let us do it.
Now, you can if you want to. You can't be king, but if you want to suck my dick, you can suck my dick.
Yeah.
You can suck my Spanish dick.
You can suck my Spanish dick in Ibiza.
In Ibiza. So, cuz at the end of the day, unfortunately, King Louis did die September 1st, 1715. The kid died from gangrene in the leg. The kid said he had excruciating pain in his leg, and he wouldn't let anyone take a peek because the kid loved his legs. And when the doctors took a peek, they said, this is bad. The gangrene went all the way from his foot and went all the way up to his side. When they did a autopsy at the end, I mean, the kid had gangrene in his organs. I mean, the kid died painfully. That's the beautiful part about being alive today, is we could still get some awful diseases, but you can just get a little morphine drip and it doesn't hurt as bad.
It doesn't hurt as much, and they can cure a lot of stuff.
They can just cure.
Thank God.
They really
That's
can.
really nice.
So, ultimately, the fun facts to me about King Louis are longest reigning monarch, bathed 3 times in his whole life, turned Versailles into like the ultimate power play. You can go visit it today. I've been there. You've been there. It's a beautiful, beautiful spot.
I've never been there.
You've never been to Versailles? Because we got to go.
Yeah. What's it like?
It's actually amazing.
What's the Hall of Mirrors like?
The Hall of Mirrors is actually amazing. I got to be honest with you. I went in 2018 with Jazz, and I felt fat that day, so I did look like I just had a big buffet ass. Walked through those mirrors, and I got a little upset with myself, but I swear to God, I was wearing a Derek Jeter Yankees batting practice jersey.
That is very nice.
Yes,
you brought
I was.
The boys with you.
And I wore shorts.
Yeah.
And I got pics of that. He also made ballet cool for men. A lot of people ask.
He was in some ballet.
Well, that's where he got the nickname the Sun King, is because he would like to dance around and make believe he was the Apollo. He was the sun god.
Yeah.
So that's why they call him the Sun King, because the kid just loved ballet, and that's why his legs were very nice. Supposedly the kid in his early life did have beautiful legs, because he dancing around, prancing around on your calves and ankles.
Yeah.
You're going to get nice legs if you're a ballet guy.
Yeah. He liked to. He actually starred in a few which is wild.
Right.
He's like, I want to be in that. And they're like, okay, we'll let the kid dance.
It's what it is.
Yeah, he probably was awful.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably like, everyone just had to deal.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny when someone's just awful and you just got to go,
yeah, I mean, because he was also a master of propaganda. He crafted his public image, like these paintings and all that, as godlike, as always in charge, whatever. But we all know the truth. That wasn't the truth. But these paintings like this, it was all propaganda. He did not tell the people the truth about him.
No. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
You know, that's what these rulers do. And they always go too far. And he really, his financial lavishness, his opulence really is what set the balls in motion for the French Revolution. And eventually the streets will be running with French noble aristocracy blood.
It's what it is.
Yeah, the guillotine came out, and the guillotine got used.
Yeah, and
they had to put some WD-40 in. They were using it so much.
Yeah,
put the WD-40 in there so it wouldn't squeak.
And by the way, speaking of that, they had in modern day times, a guy in South Carolina has elected to be killed by firing squad. He wanted his last meal to be KFC, and he wanted to be killed by firing squad. And if you're going to put me to death and you're going to allow me to pick my execution, I'm going to go guillotine. I want to go old school. I want you cut my head off. I want to see how many times it takes.
Yeah, the reason why you do that, because you know it's not going to work. They're going to give up. Yeah. So you'll get another couple days alive, because the thing will just fall like this.
Yeah.
It'll just stop.
Yeah. But the guillotine's cute. And you know what's funny?
Guillotine for me, so it'll be quick.
Yeah, just quick.
Just slice
cut that little head right. They don't even have to drop it all the way from the top. Just drop it halfway. Yeah, just drop it off. All right, guys. As always, thank you for listening to King Louis XIV. Favorite part of our episode, favorite part of your episode is when we read off the Patreon names. We got a brand new list. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah, see Chrissy at the Garden on September 11th.
Could be the theater. We're going to make that decision soon.
Yeah, could be the theater.
In the building that houses Madison Square Garden.
If you got tickets, they will be honored in a room.
Yeah, it's just what it is. I'm going to be at Madison Square Garden September 11th. You're just going to go upstairs or downstairs?
Yeah, that's just how it goes.
Where the cookie crumbles.
See me in Rochester coming up, and see me...
If he decides to do it.
If we do it.
The kid canceled Springfield, Missouri the day of the show.
See me in Cleveland and see me in San Diego.
Ooh, San Diego. That's one of my favorite clubs, favorite cities. Go to YannisPappasComedy.com for those tickies, ChristyComedy.com for my tickies. Added a lot of dates, and we are going to be doing more live History Hyena shows that we're going to start streaming them at Patreon.com/History Hyenas.
Yeah.
That's going to be the new move.
Yeah.
So you can get all that for $5. All right. Welcome to the matriarchy. Brett Borgiadani. Then we got Hillel Schwarzenstein, the ultimate frisbee. Okay.
Drexler, baby.
Drexler. Make no mistake, Xi Jinping has Crohn's. Chubby McBubbly with a pecorino pecker. Nick Diapiece, 2025 Ice Survivor. Nathan Bristow.
It's a good one. These are all, that's a Drex too.
Okay. Then we got just put the nuggies in the bag with the gun. Did I walk into one?
No, wait.
Just put the nuggies in the bag, and then he has a gun. He has a gun.
So he's robbing McDonald's.
Oh, Robin McDonald. Okay.
Right, the nuggies, right?
Nuggies, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. John and Leah. Then we got Chrissy punched through my Jewish Buttigieg. Now I'm a Fumari Shafir. Oh, Chrissy punched through my Jewish Buttigieg. Now I'm a Fumari Shafir.
Instead of Ari Shafir.
Fumari Shafir. You called him Fumari. Fumari Shafir would have probably gotten you on the list. But when you did too much with the Buttigieg, but if you just came out with Fumari Shafir, you're probably going to get on.
So we're going to honor that for you, and we're going to edit it for you, and we're going to give you a Drexler.
We're going to give you a Drexler.
Fumari Shafir.
Nicholas Flores, Jonathan Thorpe. Then we got COVID took my smell. Now I see fumes in a different way.
Put him on the list.
You're on the list.
Put him on the fucking list.
Very fun. You added a lot of stuff.
Wow.
You combined stuff from old episodes, new episodes, different time periods. I really respect what you did.
Wow. That's a contender.
Okay. Then we got Father Bill ate my black and white for lunch.
Okay.
Okay. Alex Altori, Quinn Johnson. Then we got, is Chrissy holding the pen like a short busser?
Put him on the list.
Because I guess I am. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Then we got Chrissy.
I like that too because it's real-time commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got Chrissy's dump truck ass.
Chrissy's dumb trunk ass. Okay.
Then we got Tizviz P. Denkler. Okay. Straight Whitey with a bi body. It's what it is. Mitch McConnell's fleshlight.
Chicken finger.
Paolo Venuto. Paulo Sanchez. Then we got Welcome to the KKK. Chrissy Chlamydia Clinic. All with K's.
Drexler.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Then we got Call Me Dead Horse. I'm about to make some glue.
Call me dead horse. I'm about to make some.
I guess because when you kill a horse, they make horses into glue.
Oh.
It's an interesting one. Jerk off, yeah. I'm about to make some glue. So he's saying when you kill a horse, horses are what horse hooves make glue. He's saying, call me dead horse because you're going to kill me because I'm about to make some glue. I'm going to jerk off.
Oh, okay. Oh.
What do you think?
I like it because man.
Just made a horse sound.
Throw him on the list for the inventive. Yeah, that's really inventive. Yeah.
Jared.
Got to reward that.
Got to reward it.
Yeah.
Justin McGuire. Then we got AOC, Can See My O. Cheek Slayer. Tudor McGavin.
Cheek Slayer is with the definition of a chicken
figure.
Kid likes to fuck guys in the butt.
Yeah. Tudor McGavin. Instead of Scooter, Tudor. Like it. Candido, Tom Aguiar. Then we got Sauce Monkey Squeak with a tiny piece. I touched my cousin's wuzzy, and now she's turned muzzy. It's what it is.
Okay, we've had very, very
got it.
That, yeah.
Then we got Obama's student visa to UCF saved him from ICE.
Okay.
DSW Chinese shoes for 6 million Jews.
Yeah, put them on. But it's.
Did we walk into one?
I mean,
here's
the deal. Okay, this is a dilemma we're constantly having. Okay, this is a walked into one for sure.
Yeah,
but it's also brilliant.
Okay,
so
what is he saying?
What do we do here?
That the Holocaust people had
when you go to
DSW shoes?
Yeah, all the shoes in the museum. They just got like all those shoes in there, 6 million shoes. So the shoes got all dumped. Like they dumped the shoes in a pile, and then they put that pile in the Holocaust Museum. You can see it.
Are we okay with that?
Now, I don't know if we're okay with that. We're not okay with what happened. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're not okay with the Holocaust, is what you're asking. But as far as a comedy name, can you just repeat that? Because he throws DSW in there.
DSW Chinese shoes for 6 million Jews.
It's so good because the shoes are made in China from the DSW.
But we can't.
Jesse, you're the half Jew here. What do we do with that? You see how good it is.
It's very good. Yeah, put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
All right, fine.
For the comedy factor, I mean, the shoes are made in China.
Okay.
They're making them for the Jews. I get it.
So then we got Mike Bain. Then we got Gaza, a.k.a. the War of Frisbees versus Towels.
Put them on the list.
Okay.
So it's a variation of shirts for a skid.
Yeah, it's what it is. So then we
have definitely the funniest fan base
100%
in the world.
Then we got German Offside, Luis Vieira, Machake K, Caitlin Clark's clit missile.
Put her on the list.
Okay, there we go. Then we got, this person signed up 3 times as Caitlin Clark's clit missile.
Yeah, well, you didn't need to. You're on the list.
Yeah.
It's a chicken finger on the list.
Yeah. Locker Room Talk 2024.
Okay.
Deathclad, Megan. Then we got the Greek Fumigation Police.
Okay.
Anthony Janusa. Then we got 2 FFs, No More Sandra D. If you didn't quit the pod, you'd be as big as MSSP. Oh, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast.
Yeah. It's just more of a fact.
It's more of a fact. It's true. What it is.
It's what it is.
I mean,
Yeah, but we're Franks and Beans.
We're Franks and Beans, and we are who we are. Raquel Lee Schwartz, Corey White. Then we got Abdullah Ali, Honda Odyssey. That cut you off was me.
Drexler,
like it. Jeffrey McCormick, Ike Hillen. I think I can't say this one. Cheeky.
Wait, can you just cackle it though?
But
it says, can't pronounce it.
I think it's Ike.
Oh, fuck, he got ya. Yeah.
She ain't.
But I don't know if that's just his actual last name.
Oh no, it's bad. It's real bad.
He got ya.
Lab 14.
Yeah, he got ya. Yeah.
Okay.
It's real bad.
Okay, so that's out.
Yeah, you walked into one.
All right, sorry about that.
Jesus Christ, that's becoming a little game in and of itself.
We can't do it. Yeah.
They're trying to get you every time.
Cheeky Poof with the leaky roof.
Drexler.
Yeah.
Very, very funny, Drexler.
Then we got Bill Cosby's vegetables taste funny.
Drexler, good one.
Yeah. Lance Campbell. Then we got I got clipped as a kid and I forgot till this show.
Drexler, very funny. Yeah.
Ryan Shalinsky. Then we got Rain Man, Spaceman 2028.
Okay.
Toot Scoot Boogie. Then we got St. Joe's Locker Room photo album, Ladder 14 Inches. Okay.
So yeah.
Jesse
He
Powell.
tried. That was a good one. Someone could come up with something creative with St. Joe's Locker Room. Chrissy was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got RFK's wife sat on my face, bitch gave me pink eye. It's what it is.
What it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we got Giannis's Zin spit on Chrissy's boy clit. Hashtag rectal stuffing on third and ragamuffin. Okay.
Okay. Let's just, if you would have edited that down, to
Right.
Yanni Zin spit on Chrissy something.
Boy's clit.
Yeah.
Might have had it.
We might have got it.
Yeah, but all right. So this is just a little lesson.
Yeah.
Sometimes less is more.
Sometimes you got to just edit.
Hungry Hippo, Big Weenie Al.
Big Weenie Al's a chicken finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got straight back and to the left, call me JFK.
Put him on the list.
Okay.
He's talking about his piece. Straight back to the left. Call him JFK. Put
Okay.
him on the list.
My dad calls. Walked into one. Can't do that one. Can't do that. That is not okay.
Holy shit.
Then we got Senate passed. Then we got Senate passed a father bill for glue gun control.
Okay.
Big Disney glue gums. Okay. Taylor Ann, Samzo. Then we got win or lose. Philadelphia will win or lose. Philadelphia will burn worse than when I pee. Hashtag bring back the Rizzo statue.
Okay, so we're at the Super Bowl now?
Yeah.
We got to do an episode to just catch up.
Bro, I mean, we are almost caught up though, right? I mean,
yeah, we're getting there.
we're getting there. Cuzzy Wuzzy Muzzy Hussy with a Fumy Buzzy Bussy. Fumy Fuzzy Bussy, sorry.
Okay.
Francis Taylor, Jake Poe, Michael Sorensen. Then we got Michael Rockefeller's barbecued penis.
Put him on the list. Put him on the list.
That's old school.
Yeah, that's
they listened to an old
school,
episode.
and it's really funny.
It's funny because he did.
Yeah, those guys at some point were like, we're going to have barbecue penis.
Yeah, it's just what it is. Yep, yeah. And it probably tastes good.
Yeah.
Winston, fumes kill since peace burns like it's World War II still. Cuz ran a train on Father Gerbel. Okay, sorry, too long.
Yeah, that's a little walked into one as well.
Zach Thompson. Then we got German kid here for the content. Is Eich, what is Eich? Okay.
It is what it is. Very funny.
Zin hiccups. Anxiety like Yanni P coming in hot and fumy.
Okay.
Jennifer Schmidt. Chrissy's ran from more homes than Saddam Hussein.
It's a good one.
Good one.
Yeah, Drexler.
Jaden Clayson. Danielle Desch. Then we got Helen Mirren be smearing my Jew glue all over them pretty 79-year-old heavies. Kid wants to bang Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's kind of hot.
She's kind of hot. Chinese to their knees with Chrissy D's from Under Cheese. Then we got Ape Cock.
Chicken finger.
Then we got Lulu lick my balls. Lulu lick my ball shack and give us our rights back, Jenkins.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a black kid asking for his rights back.
Got it. Frankie Gore. Yannis Pappas walked foreskin first into Walt Disney's basement. That's what it is. Okay. Father Bill's prostate milker. Kevin Gonzalez. Anthony Rodriguez. Up Insider. Betwixt two dicks is Chrissy D's wish. Jordan Peterson in Arabic. Okay. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a fuzzy muzzy. It's a character piece.
Mm-hmm.
Ladder 14 got me flicking my bean. Gonna make Chrissy D my UCF queen. Okay.
Okay.
Then we got insulin not included. Chrissy D Hissy needs a new pair of houses. Justin Klavitz catcher. Girth Brooks. We have that one a lot.
Yeah.
Anthony Dibble. Jeff Bell. Lexi Golden. Chrissy, if I die, rip one of your well farts on my fully fumed Karaskaka Kisses Pieces Yas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Latin baby mama, so death threats get my glue gun caliente, es lo que es.
Funny Drexler.
Patrick Newhouse, Marco Polo, Mr. Milky, Spider.
Chicken finger. Mr.
I like
Milky.
that.
Yeah.
Spider Monkey Morales crawling up my leaky roof.
Very funny Drexler.
Franks and Beans, because Uncle Russell played with my tussie.
Okay.
Okay. Buddha Dredge, my chicken finger, Father Bill's communion wafer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chrissy D, this is Anne Hathaway. I need your hot glue gun in my tight little fume box. Call me back ASAP.
That turned me on a little
That's
bit.
it. I like
Anne
that.
Hathaway's
She's
hot.
so hot.
Yeah.
No fumes on Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. No.
Release the fart tapes and no one gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Marinello. Big Mike's fume and girthworm glued my cheeks together with some Force Ken. Jacob Lee. Tim Dillon's last white blood cell.
Funny. Walked into one.
Then we got Wei, Sean, she, him. Make no mistake, them's my pronouns. It's what it is.
Wait. Wei Shang Shi him. Those are my pronouns.
Wayne,
Yes.
Sean, she, him.
Yes, we put him on the list.
Put him on the list. That was a smart one.
That is one that just was there for the taking, and no one did it.
And he's the first one to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to say contender.
Then we got, yo, Chris, I slapped you in the chest in front of Yankee Stadium and yelled Distefano like I knew you personally. My bad, cuz.
Did that happen?
I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember. Was it with my pops?
Excited, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. It's the last page, and then we're gonna go to our list. Okay.
We got a lot.
We got fee fi fo fum. I'm the finger in Chrissy's bum. $3 bill for a Blackstone grill. Homer Holloway Jr. Then we got Chrissy D. Peel back the fume hood on a Muzzy's pee and give it a kiss for me.
Oh boy. God, it's funny. Drexler.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Then we got Biden's Secretary of Transsexual Defense if Donnie wasn't busy building the fence.
Put him on the list.
Okay, there we go.
God, there's so many listers.
Then we got piece smaller than Yanni's unibrow.
Oh God, it's good. Drexler.
Okay. Then we got Yannis Pappas.
Very good.
Yeah.
Drexler. I mean, it's unfair at this point. We have so many.
You think there's too many?
Yeah,
you think we should stop the list there?
Stop.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So
Too many good ones.
all right, too many good ones. All right, so here, so even though I marked it, we'll stop it there.
It's becoming not fair to the Drexlers.
All right, here we go. All right, here's the list. Wei Sean, she, him, make no mistake, this is my pronouns, it's what it is.
Good one.
Straight back and to the left, call me JFK.
Okay, we're going to Drexler that.
Drexler
right
that.
away. But
Okay.
good one, though, any other day.
Michael Rockefeller's barbecued penis. Still in.
Still in.
Okay. COVID took my smell. Now I see fumes in a different way.
Still in.
Still in. Is Chrissy holding the pen like a short busser?
Drexler.
Drexler.
Any other day.
Call me dead horse. I'm about to make some glue.
We're going to Drexler.
Drexler.
But good one.
DSW Chinese shoes for 6 million Jews.
We're going to keep it in.
All right, fine. Then we got Gaza, a.k.a. the war of frisbees versus towels.
We're going to keep it in.
And then Caitlin Clark's clit missile.
I mean, we got to keep it in.
Okay. So, all right, let's just, we can handle this.
We can handle this
Okay,
tough.
so, all right, so let me read them out again, and we're just gonna have, this is what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah, people think this is easy to
Not
make
easy.
a decision. It's not easy.
Michael Rockefeller's barbecued penis.
No, it's funny. This is our version of America's Got Talent.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so we got Michael Rockefeller's barbecued penis. We got Wei Sean, she, him, make no mistake, them my pronouns, it's what it is.
Yeah.
COVID took my smell, now I see fumes in a different way. DSW Chinese shoes for 6 million Jews. Gaza, a.k.a. the war of frisbees versus towels. Caitlin Clark's clit missile, or Michael Rockefeller barbecued penis.
This is tough. This is tough. What do we feel about? What do we feel about Caitlin Clark's clit missile?
I love that one.
I do love that one too, and
so
it's
it's still in.
easy.
Okay.
I'm willing to give up on Wei Sean, she, him, just because it's not as tight as the other ones.
Okay, if it was just maybe Wei Shang Shi him,
I would give it.
Okay,
That's what do you think about that?
Yeah, see, I was going to say that's the most show related. That's why I thought it was great. But I agree with you. If he said my pronouns are Wei Shang Shi,
yeah, if you put it
So
almost that's the
in this
definition
list,
of a Drexler
right,
in this list. Any other day,
He's probably in, but this is a bad list.
You're up against Caitlin Clark's clit missile.
Yeah, and
the girl can drop threes.
And Michael Rockefeller's barbecued penis. And Gaza, a.k.a. the war of frisbees versus towels, I think
we're gonna Drexler.
we're Drexler that. And DSW Chinese shoes for 6 million Jews, I just don't feel comfortable.
It's a walked into one, so we're gonna put that in a walked into one award.
Okay, fine.
We'll give you a walked into one award.
We'll say that here on the show.
Now we got two.
And COVID took my smell. Now I see fumes in a different way. I think as a Drexler in this list, personally. I think it's between Caitlin Clark's clit missile and Michael Rockefeller barbecue peanuts, which is fun because it's battle of the sexes.
It's battle of the
It's a
sexes.
pussy versus a dick.
And it's also what you call a primo chicken finger war. Those are
Right.
two chicken fingers. So here it is.
So let me hear it. Let me tell you again. Caitlin Clark's clit missile versus Michael Rockefeller's barbecued penis. It's a good match.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. This is Billie Jean King.
Yes.
This is where the sex is. My vote is for Michael Rappaport's barbecue penis.
Michael Rockefeller's barbecued penis.
not Michael Rappaport's.
Yeah.
Right.
Jesse?
Yes.
You like barbecued penis? So there it is.
There it
the
is.
winner is Michael Rockefeller's barbecued Penis, unfortunately, it's just what it is. The men usually win. That's why the WNBA gets paid less.
Yes, and it's just Michael Rockefeller's penis is just bigger than Caitlin Clark's clip missile.
And it's what it is. And it's
maybe.
And it's also part of the show. Yeah. It's an old episode. You did your homework, so congratulations. You win. Go to History Hyenas is back to see your name up there in lights as the PPW and also all our dates and everything. And this episode's going to continue right now at patreon.com/historyhyenas.